Oh boy, I've got one shot. I just know this is gonna be a train wreck. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video in my full month of your video ideas and suggestions. Today's video I'm so nervous about. It's a video idea that actually came from a couple of you guys. We are doing a one-take video, which I have seen Jessica Braun do. Let me know if there's other people that have done these before, but that idea came from Lyndon. Lyndon asked me to do that video, and then I also got an idea from Faye asking me to do a one-take eyeshadow tutorial or a real-time eyeshadow tutorial. So that's what we're doing today. I figured since I'll be doing this all in one take, you guys will get a real-time eyeshadow tutorial. And today we are going to be testing out the Natasha Denona Mini Retro palette. Somehow this ended up on my doorstep along with $25 out of my bank account. But I am excited to give this thing a try. I've actually used it a few times already and very impressed with it. It was smaller. I've never tried one of her mini palettes. And I mean, I guess I should have known it's a mini palette, but it is quite mini. It's very, very tiny, but I love the colors inside here. So we're going to be testing that out. I also have some new brushes here from Rephr that I'm excited to kind of take for a test drive for you guys. And yeah, and then just some other stuff that I have in between. So let's hope that I can get through this. Hope that you guys are excited about it. Thank you guys for joining me today. If you are not subscribed yet, I hope that you will do that. And with that said, let's just jump right in. I hope that you guys don't mind hearing a lot of stuttering and a lot of the word like, because I tend to say that a lot when I'm filming. And I can't edit it out. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's start off with some primer. I'm going to go in with my Garnier Glow Boost Illuminating Moisturizer Primer. And just apply this everywhere. I was actually telling I told two of my kids at different times when they were not each in the room, this idea that I was planning to do. And I told my oldest son, who was 16, that I was going to be doing a one-take video, and he was like, wow, you stutter a lot, Mom. I'm not sure that you can do that. Because they sometimes will come down, they can kind of hear me filming. And I do. I stutter a lot, especially when I know that I can just edit it out and I want it to be perfect, whatever sentence I'm trying to say. So this is going to be a challenge. And then my other son, I actually just told him what I was doing before I came down here, and he said the same thing. He's like, oh, how are you going to do that if you can't stutter? I was like, I'm just going to have to stutter and people will just have to deal with it. But anyways, so now I'm going into foundation. This is the Maybelline Dream Urban Cover Foundation. I have used this before in a video, and I kind of was on the fence about how I felt about it. I used it 1 or 2 times after that. I want to say I've had this for a couple of months. I didn't dislike it, but I'm not sure that I loved it. But I did recently see Nakia Joy here on YouTube talk about this as one of her like top 5 recent foundation tries. And it just made me think, maybe I should try that thing a little bit more and see if I really like it. Maybe I didn't give it a fair shot because I don't remember disliking it, but I do think it does feel quite, I hate to use the word oily because obviously nobody wants foundation that feels oily, but it does have quite a bit of sunscreen in it, and it does feel like a really lightweight sunscreen. So if you have ever put a sunscreen on your skin that it gives kind of that subtle greasy feel, this does kind of feel like that. It does smell like a sunscreen as well, which I don't know why I would be opposed to that, because I am someone that puts sunscreen on every single day. And a lot of the times the sunscreens that I use do feel a little bit oily, but for some reason I'm not used to that feeling in a foundation. So I wanted to give it a try today again and just see if I can gather my thoughts on it. And I am pretty sure in that video or in other videos with other products that I've done, I probably said I would let you guys know my updated thoughts on this thing, and I didn't. I really need to get better at that because I have never done an update video, or sometimes I don't always update you guys on how I'm liking things unless they end up being a standout favorite. And I think it's helpful for people to know not just things that are your very favorites, but things that maybe didn't quite work for you, or the reasons that things maybe didn't become favorites of yours. Especially because we all have different skin, different preferences. you know, so I'm a little bit worried about my outtake reel because, or my blooper reel at the end of this video, because I don't know that I'm going to be very funny. My jokes usually take a few tries. So I hope that you guys don't think I have a completely different personality in this video. I don't know. I'm just all around nervous about this one. Now let's go into concealer. This is the Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. Mine is in the shade Vanilla. Still one of my favorites. I kind of put this one away for a couple of months and pulled it back out recently, and it's like, yeah, this thing just never lets me down. Oh, I'm getting a spot right there, darn it. Speaking of spots, I had asked you guys in one of my recent videos some advice and suggestions on skincare products, especially when it comes to acne scarring and kind of trying to fade melasma and acne scarring. Thank you guys so much for all the feedback you gave me in that video. I have a whole page in my notebook of suggestions written down of products you guys have tried that worked for you, things that I should look into, and I'm feeling very like inspired to maybe switch some things up in my skincare routine. I'm getting close to 40. I'm 38 and I'm getting close to my 39th birthday, which will be this summer, and I feel like it is probably about time that I get on Retin-A or start using Retin-A or getting into, I know it takes a while to get your skin kind of used to it. It's probably something I should do. This is like the age, well, I think it's probably ideal that I started before now, but I definitely don't want to wait too long to start because I'm really, my skin's starting to like show that it's not in my young 30s anymore. Oh man. It's gonna kill me that I can't edit that out. Oh, that's okay. So there we are with concealer. Let's see, do I want a powder today? Let's do powder a little bit. I'm gonna take my Halo powder from e.l.f., which you guys know I've been loving. And let's, for the first time, take this Rephr brush right here. So they sent me 5 brushes. These are the ones that they sent me. They are all numbered from 1 to 5. We have this little, let's see, number 1 is kind of their blending brush. I'll kind of get into these 3 right here. These are 1, 2, and 3, which are their eye brushes right here, and then two face brushes. These 2 right here. They're quite small, and at first I saw these and I thought, those seem smaller than I typically use for a face brush, but I also kind of like smaller face brushes sometimes, especially if I want to use them for powder, because I can be a little bit more strategic about where I place my powder. Same goes for highlight. I could use these for highlight. So this one right here is the number 5 brush, which kind of just looks like a slightly pinched, smaller paddle brush. And I might want to use that one for bronzer as well. And then also this smaller, it's like a small traditional angled blush brush, but these guys, I haven't used them yet, but I felt them and they are beautifully soft. I'm really excited to give these a try. So I'm going to go in with the larger powder brush with just a tiny bit of that e.l.f. powder. And I just want to set a little bit on my cheeks, right where this little blemish is right here. And I think I'm going to set down just right between my eyebrows, right above my lip. Basically all those areas that I have some acne scarring and I want that concealer to really be locked in, but there's not much on my brush. I try not to dip back in too many times because I don't want to overdo it with the powder, but I'm going to call that good. Now let's go into, let's do bronzer next. So I'm going to take that same brush and we're going to dip into the River bronzer from the Oh for Samantha March collaboration. Loving this bronzer. It is absolutely beautiful. I have to remind myself that I can't like sniff or snort or pick my nose. Tough. It is tough. Not pick my nose, but you know, like. So that seems to be working really nicely. It is smaller. I think for a bronzer brush, I probably would like a larger one. I know that they make a bronzer brush. I'm really interested to try it out. In fact, I remember Mel Thompson talking about their bronzer brush, and I kind of am on the eternal hunt for like my ultimate fall in love with bronzer brush. I've written down so many of your guys' suggestions and I just haven't yet decided which one to go with. Haven't yet picked one up that I absolutely love. So today is Thursday, the Thursday before Easter, which I don't even know what the date is today. Where's my phone? It is the 9th of April today. And I hope that you guys are surviving whatever level of quarantine or isolation you are in. I think that we are all in some level of quarantine or isolation at this point. It has been rough. It has been quite rough. We've actually had really good weather the last couple days, which I'm so grateful for because we can get outside, but my kids are on spring break this week, and there is something about knowing that it's spring break and nothing's gonna change as far as like we're not going anywhere, can't really do much, nothing is open. Even if we weren't, you know, quarantined, things aren't open right now. But anyway, that didn't make sense. Okay, darn it, I can't edit that out either. But yeah, so that's been a little bit rough, but I am grateful that the weather's been nice and my kids can at least play outside. We're pretty fortunate in that we live on the corner of a big piece of farmland, and we know my dad and his family actually own the farmland, and so my kids can play on the farmland and go up by the barn. They've been doing like airsoft wars up there, which has been so great for them to get out of the house, but it's still been rough. My oldest son, let's get into blush first because I need to get moving. This is the Persona blush. I am so in love with these blushes, you guys. I recently used the pinkier shade, which is the shade Caramel. Someone corrected me on that, and I've heard other people say it the right way. I think I called it Caramel, which I thought was wrong, but one of you mentioned that their products are named after beaches in California, which I think is the coolest thing ever. It makes me love them even more. Very slightly, but I love these blushes. This one is in the shade Georgia. It's the more peach color blush, but because the colors in the Natasha Denona palette are a little bit more peachy, I think this one will go perfectly. So we're going to try out that little blush brush, and I'm going to take just a little bit on here. These are quite pigmented, so if you have these or get these or are trying these out, just be aware. You may even want to like tap off on the back of your hand, or just tap off your brush. But they're so pretty. Oh, they're like the perfect colors. The pink is a perfect color. This one is a perfect peachy color. So my oldest son, he I think has been struggling the most because he's my one. I mean, he's 16, so obviously his social life is the biggest part of his life right now. He's at that age where his friends are everything, and he can't hang out with his friends right now, and it's been so hard for him. And not only that, but the second love of his life is baseball. I know I've talked about this before, but baseball season is canceled, and so it has been really, really tough on him. The other day, I think he just was feeling like stir crazy. The weather was warming up, but there's nothing to do. Like, we can't go anywhere or do anything. So he just said, all right, I'm going to go for a run. And he went outside, and 2.5, 3 hours later, he got home and said, okay, I just ran a half marathon. And I was like, what? He went outside and just ran 13 miles. I mean, he's not even really a runner. He's athletic, but he's certainly never run more than 4 miles at a time. And it's like, man, that just tells you the level of like desperation to find something to do. Cause yeah, it was kind of hilarious. And then he couldn't walk for a few days. Like, man, you are lucky you are young, buddy. That would kill me. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I'm going in with the Persona highlighter as well. This is in the color Zuma. It's a really beautiful golden highlight. I'm just taking that same brush. Kind of using these brushes for different things just to kind of get an idea of maybe what I prefer to use them for. I think that might take me a while to figure out what I most prefer, especially these two brushes for, because they're a little bit different of a shape than I'm typically used to. But I also don't have a lot of brushes in my collection that are smaller face brushes, if that makes sense. Of course it makes sense, Mandy. It's one of those phrases I tend to say a lot. And I realize when I say it, like, that's kind of insulting. Like, some people might think that's insulting. That's not what is intended. It's just a phrase that I say I don't know. My dad says it too, actually. He says it all the time. That's where I got it. It's from my dad. All right, let's go ahead now and move into, let's do the eyes. No, let's do something a little bit different today. I want to put something on my lips because I sometimes hate looking at my dead lips when I'm editing my videos and my eyes aren't done yet. And I think it's helpful sometimes to see your eye look when you have something on your lips or the rest of your face a little bit more finished. So I'm actually going to put just a little bit of lip liner on. This is the Essence lip liner, and because duh, I actually did just pick up a new shade of this one, but this one is more peach than the one that I just picked up. That one was a little bit more pink. So I still want to use this one today. I always like to take my finger and kind of smudge that in because I don't really like a defined line on my lips. I should probably wipe all this concealer foundation off. And I'm sorry, I can't talk while I do this. So let me know how you guys are doing. I kind of feel like we're all to that point where we're like, okay, this has been tough. We've kind of gotten through it. Where's the light at the end of the tunnel? When is this gonna, when are things gonna start to go back to normal? There's a part of me that is kind of terrified to think about that because I think it's hard to say. I mean, I don't know when things are going to like open back up. It's probably going to be different for all of us depending on where we are in the country or in the world. But I think it's going to be a while. But let's not think about that right now. Let's hope for the best. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. I don't know. Is that a good idea? I hope so. Oh, that reminds me, this is also new. So when I picked up the little Natasha Denona palette, I also grabbed another one of the Fenty glosses. This is a newer color. This is in the color Sweet Mouth. This is a full size. I love these Fenty glosses. The minis that I have are some of the ones that I love the very most. Probably, as far as like higher end glosses, I mean, I actually don't own a ton of high end gloss brands. Probably only like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different brands of higher end glosses. Well, no, I have a Marc Jacob ones too. Jacob's one as well. But these are probably one of my favorites. These along with the Persona ones. But I really like this color. It's a little bit more sheer than fussy. Let me just show you guys the difference, just in case you're curious. So here is fussy right here. I mean, most of the Fenty glosses are quite sheer. I think the Persona glosses give you a little bit more color. But I love the level of shine of these glosses. So that was fussy, and then this is Sweet Mouth right here. It's definitely much more of like a baby pink, a clear kind of baby pink, as you can see. So if you like a bit more color to your gloss, I think Fussy would be the one for you if you like pink. But if you like a little bit more sheerness, this is a really good one. All right, let's move into the eyes. So I'm going to quickly just kind of finger swatch this palette for you guys so you can kind of get a feel for what it looks like. So let's just go through here, and then this end pink will be on my thumb. Okay, that didn't work out very well, did it? These are beautiful. They are really pretty colors. I've actually used the pinks quite a bit. I haven't used the matte green yet, which is funny because this is the color I think of all of them that I'm most excited about, but I think I was saving it for you guys. So I really think today I kind of want to try something fun and different, so I thought we can maybe do a halo eye using these greens and then pop a little bit of the lighter shimmery pink in the center. You can see this pink right here, the end pink. So this is more of like a topper. It feels so much like a Super Shock shadow to me, like that kind of sheer, creamier, very glittery, but really pretty topper kind of formula, whereas this one is like a little bit richer, a little bit more of a satin kind of finish. Let me find a place to swatch. Probably didn't show up very well, but So I think we probably won't use that one, just use these other ones today. So let's, yeah, we better jump right into it. I don't want this to take forever. And maybe a halo eye on a day when I can't edit anything out. Might not be the best idea, but we're just gonna go for it, because why not, right? I'm gonna take the Rephr number 1 brush. This brush, I did say in my Instagram story that it reminds me an awful lot of my Wayne Goss number 18. So here they are next to each other. It's hard to say. This one is brand new, so it is quite, like, the bristles are all very compact. I think as I use it a little bit more, wash it a couple of times, it might flare out just a little bit. It looks like the Wayne Goss one is maybe a little bit bigger, but that might change as I use this and wash it. So, but we're gonna start off with this one and go up above the crease. I actually don't have any eye primer on. I should probably put some on, because I typically would. So let's just go in with a little bit of the Profusion primer, because I definitely don't want to do anything different than I normally do, since I'm kind of trying this out for the first time for you guys. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of just translucent powder, just right through the crease, the tiniest bit. There's hardly any on my brush. I know a lot of people set their primer down. There's kind of differing opinions on whether or not you should do that, or whether or not people like to do that. I like to do it, but I use the tiniest amount. So my primer is still a little bit tacky on my lids. It just basically sets it a little bit through my crease and this very front part of my eye where I have that little bit of a fold or a line. Just helps that not to be a problem for me before I get my eyeshadows on top of it. So I'm just taking this color kind of just right up above my brow bone. This is such a soft brush, oh my goodness. I'm excited to do a 7 looks video with this brush. This and the Wayne Goss, I'd be able to keep them clean, like have a clean brush on hand, which is always helpful. You guys know how much I don't like to clean my brushes. I am planning to do it this weekend. I'm determined to wash my brushes this weekend, although I think I said that maybe in my last video and it never got done. Needs to happen though. My situation is getting pretty desperate. They are quite dirty. Okay, so before we do the lower lash line, we're going to do the halo eye first, and then I think we'll work on the lower lash line. I'm going to try and zoom you guys in a little bit. This is totally unprofessional looking because I have to manually zoom, so excuse the little double chin and wobble, but yeah, there we go. But I know that you guys probably would like me to be a little bit closer. Okay, hopefully that's a little bit better. Hopefully I'm in focus. I sometimes can't tell, but we're going to just jump right into it. So let's dip into this green right here. I want to start off by taking the Rephr number 2 brush, which is kind of like a flat kind of smudge brush. This reminds me of my Juvia's Place small buffer brush, but much, much smaller. And we're going to start just kind of packing that on this outer corner. This color, you guys, look at this color. Such a pretty color. This is like the same color as my eyes, which is like a grayish blue-green. And I've always kind of hated the color of my eyes. I shouldn't say hated, that's a very strong word. I don't actually feel that strongly about the color of my eyes, but they're just so bland. I don't know. They don't have a lot of color. They're mostly gray. So actually seeing this color kind of made me feel a little bit better about my eye color, because this is a really pretty color. I have a sister that's my youngest sister. She's about 8 years younger than me, and she has the prettiest blue eyes. They're so pretty. We all envy her eye color, me and my older sister and my other younger sister. I have 3 sisters, by the way. You probably did not know that. So I'm really just placing the color right now. We'll worry about the blending in just a minute, but I just really want to place it on this outer part of the eye. That's quite dark. It's darker than it looks in the pan, but it's not a bad thing. It's just maybe not quite what I was expecting. I'm just praying that Charlie was sleeping before I came down here, but told my kids, please, please keep her upstairs. We all love Charlie, I know, but she would make this type of a video impossible. So I'm already worried this is going to be such a long, long video. Because I'm not very fast at doing my makeup in general, and certainly not when I'm talking. And also not when I'm doing a halo eye, which I'm realizing maybe was not the greatest idea, but we're going to see if we can do a quick halo eye today. And if you are not into a halo eye, you can absolutely do pretty much everything that I'm doing right now. And keep in mind, I'm not just talking about with this palette, but just with these kind of tones that I'm using. If you're just looking for some technique kind of tips, you can do exactly what I'm doing and just skip the inner corner and do the same thing that I'm doing on my lid all the way in to the inner corner if you're not into the kind of halo eye look. 'Cause I know it is a little bit more of a non-traditional kind of eye look. It's definitely not one that I wear super often, but it is kind of fun to play with looks like this. Okay, so hopefully you guys can kind of see. I need to add a little bit more on this side. Okay, I'm going to go back into that rougher brush and just kind of wipe it off. The number 1 brush, the brush we used in our transition. I'm just going to kind of go over the edges very lightly, just to kind of blend them out. Where did my towel? I had a towel. Oh well. I usually have a little towel that I'll wipe my brush off in between colors just so it doesn't muddy things up too much. I want to blend out kind of this little line right here just so it's not too harsh when we layer the lighter shades on top. But I also want to be really careful that I don't, while I'm blending, pull that color in on the center of my lid because I want to keep it nice and bright right there. If you're doing a halo eye and you do find that your color, your deeper color, comes in too far, you can definitely go back and just take a tiny bit of concealer and pop it on the center of your lid. I want to try not to do that today because it takes a little bit more time and it's a little bit more of like a advanced technique. I'm trying to do the like lazy girl's halo eye. I feel like this color is not quite as deep, this side is not quite as deep as the other, so I'm just adding a little bit more just to even things out. There's just a tiny bit more product on this brush. And again, I'm just kind of like, just with what's left, just making sure the shape is even, which I feel like it never is. I never can get the shape of my eyeshadow perfectly even, but that's okay. Alright, for now I'm going to take this same brush. I want to try and wipe as much as I possibly can. I do have a little rag just right here in front of me that I'm just trying to wipe all that green off so it looks, wow, that came pretty clean for wiping it on a dry rag. But I'm going to take that brush and we're going to go back into that transition shade, the lighter matte peach right here. And I want to build this up on my lower lash line just a little bit before we kind of work on cleaning up this outer edge. Should probably wipe those glosses off my hand before they make it onto my face in a place that I don't want them. Now I'm going to take that same brush and dip into the matte green, and we're just going to kind of use this to just kind of clean up this edge right here. So I basically just put it right where the corner is and run it back and forth, slightly underneath and slightly above into this corner just to clean it up. Oh no, she made it down here. I hear Charlie coming, guys. Charlie?
Daddy, not mad at me.
Yeah, you just had a good nap. I'm so glad you fell asleep by yourself. Did you sleep good? Yeah, I'm so glad. I put her down for a nap today and I told her, "Okay, Charlie, I can't lay by you till you fall asleep. Sometimes I'll lay with her until she falls asleep, but today I had things to do. I couldn't." So I told her, "Okay, you need to lay down. Daddy's right outside your door," because our bedroom, he works in our bedroom. His office is in our bedroom, but it's just right outside her door. And I told her, "Your dad's right there. Don't come out of your room or Daddy will send you back to your room." My husband had to laugh at me. He's like, "Why are you making me the bad guy?" Like, I do what it takes, hun. Wesley, did you leave that door open? I bet it was Jace, huh? Yeah. Hey, Charlie, do you want a bowl of milk? Can you go get her a bowl of milk?
Yeah. Come on, kitty.
She's been pretending like she's a kitty lately.
Charlie, no. No. I can't play with the Lego.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We want to go get a bowl of milk. Charlie. Come on.
Okay, this is taking forever. Sorry, you guys. So I want to use that shimmer. I'm just going to tap.
Charlie.
Oh, dear.
Come on.
Hey, you can just leave her. She'll wander back up in a minute.
Okay.
Charlie, Wes is going to go get you some milk. Okay, can you go up and I'll be right back? I'll be right up there in a minute.
I just want say hi.
Okay, I'll let you say hi in a minute after you drink your milk. And then I'll be done. You can come say hi. Okay? Go drink your milk real quick. Oh boy. Hey Wes, will you please make sure that that door is shut tight when she gets up? Thank you. So we're going to take the shimmery green and tap that just kind of right over where we put that matte green. This is a really pretty color. I'm going to wipe that same finger off and we're going to go in with this corner shade, which is kind of the very sheer, creamy, glittery. Look how pretty that is. Oh, we're going to tap that on the center of the lid. So I really like to try and place all of the color where there's no color at all right there before I tap it outwards and blend it into that green, because I actually want to be really careful not to pull any of that darker green into the center, just so it stays nice and bright. And I don't mind taking this color quite a ways out to kind of overlap that green color, just so it looks a little bit more blended. Add a little bit more to the center right here. Alright, and I'm just going to go back in with my, not Wayne Goss, my Rephr #1 brush, and we're going to just blend that top edge a little bit. Nothing on this brush, I'm just blending out the edge. Okay, and now we're going to add a little bit of liner. A brand new Wet n Wild liner right here. I have a whole stash of backups of this liner. And because today I didn't want to sharpen one, we're using a brand new one. Plus I always love a brand new one because that line is just so, it's almost dangerously sharp actually. Alright, just about done. I just realized I didn't pull my mascara out. What kind of mascara should we use today? So I'm going to zoom you guys back out. Then we're going to add some mascara, which happens to be back here. Forgot to grab it. Let's today go with my It Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. Add a couple of coats of this, and then I think we pretty much just have eyebrows, and then we'll be done. So I always do not like putting mascara on camera. I make some seriously wild mascara faces. Trying not to make them right now. Plus it just takes me a while to put mascara on. This is going to be such a long video. Oh, I don't know guys. I don't know if this was a good idea. Well, it was a good idea. It was fun. I just don't know whether it was good for me. Me doing this video was, I don't know. I'm just too slow. And I'm not funny and witty enough. But that's okay. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit to the lower lash line. I actually don't like this mascara for my lower lashes. It's a little bit too clumpy on my lower lashes. Like there's just, it's a little bit harder to control on my lower lashes. But I'm just too lazy to do 2 different mascaras most of the time. I would love to know how many of you guys use different mascaras for your upper and lower. How many of you guys just don't bother with that? Okay, we're gonna call that good. I think I might have some cleaning up to do right there. Yes, just a little bit of cleanup. So I'm gonna take this rougher, I keep wanting to call these Wayne Goss brushes because they feel like my Wayne Goss brush. The number 2 brush, that little smudge brush, I'm just gonna very carefully run that over that mascara smudge. Hopefully that came off. Okay. Alright, that I think is really pretty. This is a really fun, beautiful color story. I mean, it's simple and it's very neutral, but also unique at the same time. Like, these are the colors, if I was to, like, decorate my house, these are the colors I would want to decorate my house in. Okay, maybe not pink. I don't know. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, this is the kind of colors, if I was to, like, brand something, a website or something, these are just like the colors that I would love. Or do a wedding. These would be my wedding colors if I got married again right now. Okay, Mandy, why are you talking about that? Let's move into eyebrows. For my eyebrows, let's just go in with a little bit of my Ulta Beauty pencil in Ash Taupe. And I do have a new brow product to try out for you guys today. This one actually came in a while ago. I just haven't had a chance to use it in a video. I bought this during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. Kind of before everything went crazy. It was one of the very few things I bought. I actually wasn't planning to buy really anything from Ulta because I thought about stocking up on my It Cosmetics mascara, but I've got to be honest, you guys, as much as I love the It Cosmetics mascara, my newer tube of it, so I've had this one, I think, open for about 2 months now, but there's so much mascara product inside here, I'm quite certain that it will go bad before I can actually use it up, but this particular tube feels a little bit different to me, and not really in the way that it applies on my lashes, but it kind of makes my eyes water a little bit sometimes, and I don't remember my first tube of it doing that, so I don't know if something's changed. I've actually heard a couple people say that they thought that they changed their formula or something, but I don't know. You never know what to believe, but For some reason it's been making my eyes water a little bit, and you guys also might know how much I have just been in love with my Tony Moly mascara, that I have a hard time not reaching for that mascara because I love it so much. Alright, so I'm going to really try and, my nose is running, forgive me, really going to try and brush my eyebrows up quite a bit. I want them nice and upright. Really trying to train my brows to grow in this direction because I just love that look so much. So today I have a tube of the Benefit Give Me Brow. Believe it or not, this is the very first Benefit product I have ever tried, which is kind of crazy because I know Benefit is like, they have quite a few iconic products, not just with their eyebrow products, but their Hoola bronzer, their blushes. I know a lot of people love them. I've never actually tried anything from Benefit before though, so I'm hoping that this will really be like the brow gel of my dreams and just lock my brows into upright position without moving. I will keep you guys posted, but because this was on sale during Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty sale, I want to say this was one of the 50% off items, if I remember right, but I figured, you know, what the heck, let's give it a try and see if it's better than my e.l.f. $2 clear brow mascara, which I do love. This is going to have to really knock my socks off for me to feel like it's worth even the, what, $12 or $13 that I spent for it, let alone the $24 that it is full price. I don't know why, guys. I just have a really hard time justifying spending, like going for the splurge when it comes to brow products. Even though I love a good eyebrow, and sometimes I feel like I just haven't quite found the products that will make my brows what they could be. I don't know. I'm hoping this might be it, and maybe I'll be sold. They look really great right now, but I'll keep you guys, I know I say this all the time, I'm going to try and keep using this in the next several videos and give you guys a better idea of if this actually works, because I think the real test is how long this is going to hold my brows upright like this. Right now they look really great though. Alright, I think, are we done? I think that we are pretty much done. This, I guess, is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. It is going to be ridiculously long. I am sorry. I tried to move fast and I can't do it, guys. I'm not very fast at putting my makeup on, especially for the camera, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this anyways in some way. Hope you guys are excited about the rest of my videos this month. I am so excited about them. Keep the ideas coming in. I have been loving hearing your guys' suggestions, and keep this in mind. I clearly will not be able to get to everyone's suggestions right away, but even when April is over and my full month of your ideas is no longer like what I'm doing, I will definitely keep those ideas on hand and reach for them at least, I don't know, maybe once or twice a month, because you guys have some really great ones. So I hope you guys are excited about it. Again, if you're new, be sure to subscribe. And that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you thought of this makeup look. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these products out. And let me know how you guys are doing. I hope that you and your families are doing well. Thank you guys again for stopping by. Hope that you have a good one. And I will see all of you in my next video. Bye. Oh man, that was a nightmare. That was so long. This is going to be like a 50-minute video. Is anyone going to watch a 50-minute video? And I was not very funny. I can't be funny when I know the pressure is on and the clock is running and I can't edit it out. At least the editing process will go fast. Ugh. I have a knee injury right now, so bag of peas wrapped around my knee. Best ice pack in the world. Anyone else agree? Dang it, I forgot my notebook. Pause, we're not starting it. This doesn't count. I forgot who this idea was from. Hello. Hey, is Wesley or Ethan right there? Okay, Jolly Rancher goes to whoever wants to do me a favor. It requires going out to the car, getting a notebook for me, and bringing it down to me. I'll give you 3 Jolly Ranchers. Thank you. Okay. Love you.